Hi, everybody, and welcome. And welcome, Gerald. Thank you so much for coming to showing up today.
Thank you. Thank you.
For agreeing to be here, I should say. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe to not just my channel, but to Gerald's channel. The links are in the description. And if you feel so moved to support our channels, then please do so, because the links for those are in the descriptions too. I'm having a little trouble with the comments. Why am I not seeing? Oh, here we go. Okay. And hi, Jonathan Daly and Tropical Empress in Spirit. It's nice to see you here. Marie is grateful. These are the early people. And Diane, Viviani. Hi, Viviani.
Hi.
And CJ, and did I say Lady Silver?
No, hi, Silver. Good to see you.
Nice to see you, Silver. And let's see. So today, hi, Aaron. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Today we're going to do an experiment. Well, for me, it's an experiment. Gerald already knows how to do this, and he walked me through it. Yes, and Wanda's here. And look, she's growing new tail feathers. Look at that little tiny weeny new baby tail feathers. Oh, I'm so excited.
Amazing. That's good.
Yeah, because she broke hers like back in January or February, and they've just been so slow coming in. And we finally got some new tail feathers for baby. Okay. And Delphi, hi. So what we're going to do today is we're going to use the giveaway tool. Hi, Joyful. I know it's a big step in my little world.
Giveaway tool. It's
very
exciting.
Yeah, I love the giveaway tool. I just didn't know how to use it properly. And thank you, Gerald, for walking me through that and showing me. So that's what we're going to do. What we're going to, ouch. What we're going to discuss today is something that came up last week was something to be soul oriented or to be goal oriented.
Yes.
And what's the difference between the two? Maria, she got the message. She got the memo. Good girl.
Yes.
Girl.
Yeah, it came up after our live on Monday, and which was great, by the way. Readings for readers.
Oh, that was so much
wonderful.
Fun. Yeah.
Get a private reading.
That's right. That was just Monday. I'm sorry. My time sense is just wonkers now, because I somehow in my head it was last week, but 4 days ago.
So it was really good, and we were talking afterwards a little bit more, and we were talking about because we were doing this show, and it's like, what type of readings do we want to do? And it was like, how do we know if we're soul oriented and as it relates to goal oriented? So I mean, it was really Miss Linda is pretty dang insightful. So
how do you call me Miss Linda? That's so Southern. For a Canadian, that sounds like really weird. Okay, never mind.
Well, Linda de Gonzalez is fucking awesome. So there you go.
Thank you so much. You're Mr. Awesome yourself. What we kind of were discussing is like, how do I know, for me? Okay, how do I know if I'm focusing on growing my soul, which is really the point of my existence on this planet, learning the lessons and growing as a person, as a soul, as a person, same thing. Well, okay, in my head anyway. And how can we keep that focus? And something that came to me was that there is a difference between being soul oriented and goal oriented, and there's probably many. The major one that I could think of is that soul oriented is a state of being, and goal oriented is a state of wanting.
Yes.
So, I mean, any thoughts you guys have, please put it into chat, because this is absolutely a discussion between all of us. At least I hope so.
Yes.
A discussion between all of us, because I know that for me, when I'm really in the flow, when I'm in the middle of a really good reading, I'm just blissed out.
Mhm.
I am like in the flow, in the moment. Um, it's it's uh, it's indescribable.
Yes.
In my daily life, though, it's like, oh, very different. All these
Mhm.
these things that are nagging at my, or taking my attention.
Yes.
Because you can't live like that. Okay, you can't live in a blissed out state when you have a physical body, because you have to feed yourself, and that means
Yes.
that you have to go and get groceries, and that means that you have to make choices about, and
Mhm.
make good choices. Um, and um, and Diane G brings an excellent point. And thank you, Jonathan Daly. Jonathan says great prompts could be used as a daily morning draw. I never thought of that, but you know what? You're absolutely
Very
right.
true. Yes.
Yeah. And Diane G says, hang on, I'm just going to replace those with, our goals don't necessarily always align with what our higher self wants us to learn in the lifetime.
Hmm.
Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed, our goals can be like, I want to make as much money as I possibly can, as the shortest time as possible, and I don't care. I absolutely don't care what happens to people around me, or people on the other side of the planet, or whatever. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's right, Amanda. Your name is just a little too unwieldy. But yeah, um, I don't have a lot of control when I'm reading, because I'm just not here. Well, I am, but I'm not. So
Well, and I personally have learned how to be to allow that information to flow through and to
yeah.
still be conscious about what's going on. So,
Oh, I'm still conscious. I just don't care.
well, there is that.
It's all very, hi, Madam Maru. Um, it's all just very distant to me, and
Yeah.
not important. I mean, I do, on some level, I do care, and I am aware. I just, yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Yes. Yes. Well, and so we had talked about this idea of soul oriented, uh, um, and I was caught on the goal oriented, and you said the goal oriented is needs based or wants based,
Want space.
wants based, and the soul oriented is a way of being,
Yeah.
and that's
That's how
really,
that's how I see it.
yeah, I love that. And I think one of the things is when we are soul oriented, we can absolutely have goals that are oriented to support that.
Yeah.
It just starts with the goal oriented, or your true north,
Yeah.
what your soul is feeling, and then those really do a nice job of supporting, because yes, you do have to do things like you have to eat properly, you have to
Draw
eat.
water and carry wood, like that
Yes.
story about that Zen monk. Yeah. What do you
Yes.
do before enlightenment? Draw water, carry wood. What do you do after enlightenment? Draw water, carry wood. Like it's our 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 souls are having a physical experience, and that physical experience needs honoring, and and it needs to be honored and cared for, and cherished, our bodies, as much as our souls do, because it's necessary,
Yes.
and it's a beautiful thing in its own right. Okay, let's face it, it is beautiful to have a physical body.
Yes.
um so, especially when things are working properly. um
Yes. And that's an ongoing process to make sure
yeah.
that it's an ongoing process, which is part of and I think as we grow and evolve in life, we have we have more capacity to understand soul-oriented things because we grow, we evolve, we are different. So I think it's a very, very interesting thing. And, it's like, what do I do more of that's soul-oriented? I think that's a really amazing thing.
Yeah. And it's a question of balance too. I mean, you can't just say, okay, I'm enlightened now. And then just, it's, you want to stay in that state of being, but you want to make sure that that state of being includes looking after your physical body. And that requires a real, I don't know, it's a real tightrope, isn't it?
It is.
It is to me. It's a tightrope.
No, I completely understand that. I completely understand that. And sometimes I'm like, I just don't want to think about it anymore. Can I just have, a cheeseburger and fries and a shake, please? Just call it done. And the answer to that, in my opinion, is yes, you can.
Yeah, of course you can. Of course you can. Nobody's going to point fingers or blame or any of those things. Aaron O'Nugent says, I could take or leave this whole skin bag thing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a big job, and it's it can be painful. It can be really confusing and just everything. It can be everything, but it's not the point of life, right?
Yes. Well, and it grows and evolves. It's an ongoing process. So
it changes and it grows and it evolves, and apple and walnut oatmeal. I have oatmeal every single day.
There you go. Well, and I also think that it is important for us to understand that what was our soul purpose 10 years ago may still be our soul purpose, or it may be different because we've learned and we evolve. Yeah, just like Viviani put in. Yes, every day we learn and evolve.
Yeah.
So
that's
a powerful thing.
And so once you've learned a lesson, if it's self-reliance or self-confidence or a sense of your own worth, you're loving yourself. Once you have that lesson, you tend to get it again, cycling back.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that will bring you to a different level spiritually, right? Stuff happens on the physical plane that affects you spiritually. So that's the whole point of being so when you have, okay, where was I going with that? I was going somewhere with that. So so when things happen, when shitty things happen, instead of, okay, and I can't always do this. In fact, I work hard to do this.
Yeah.
It's a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of saying, why me? The point is to ask, what can I learn from this? What is this trying to teach me? What is the point of this at this time in my life? And is this a repeating pattern? Is this something that I didn't catch 3 years ago? Or is it just like my final exam and I don't have to ever face that again?
Right. Yes, I understand.
Yeah. So the whole point about being soul-oriented rather than goal-oriented, it goes a lot further than just, sorry, I'm just trying to get Wanda off of here. Okay, so it's more than just, Kiran, we're not answering. Okay, we're doing it a little bit differently today. What we're doing is, if you see the questions that are on the screen, that's what we're focusing on is how to orient ourselves to to our souls better, and to be more conscious of our spiritual sides, and to manifest that in our daily lives, not even manifest, to embody that in our lives,
and to learn from it, and to to
yeah
help. And
yeah
yes, somebody asked, does case matter? No, it doesn't matter.
no, it
The
doesn't.
spirit giveaway tool is smart enough.
Yeah, the giveaway tool doesn't care about the case. And I don't know how many questions we've got, because I'm not using Nightbot. Oh, I'm not using Nightbot. So we're going
Nightbot
to,
know?
I didn't tell, I just closed the tab. I didn't say a word. No.
What will Nightbot say?
Nightbot will probably not ever say anything to me, except there are no more questions in queue. Queue is now open.
So,
Oh, man.
and so one of the things with this is this will give us an opportunity to access the records. And for me, anyhow, is just like, what's the soul, what you're doing that's soul oriented, and see if the records will indicate something they want you to do more of. It's sort of like I was going to use an example of going to the gym and a trainer, but I've been to a trainer and a gym about 25 years ago. So if this is not a recent example, the idea is like, okay, you still need to be doing this, do more of this, because then there's a balance with it. You want to make sure you're, for entertainment purposes only, I don't want big arms like this and really skinny legs.
Yeah, that always looks weird. Kieran, just type hashtag ME, hashtag me. Okay?
Yeah.
Just like that, just like Gerald's wonderful, wonderful flashcards.
And
no,
so
it
you
doesn't.
just type, go ahead.
Okay, so Jonathan, you and I are going to have a little tutorial session where, and actually Gerald should be the one to teach you how to do this, because it's kind of straightforward, but not entirely. And Amanda, you can't piss off Nightbot, because I turned off all of the usual triggers, like too many emojis and all caps and stuff like that. And the way the giveaway tool works is you type hashtag whatever the word is today it's me. And once you have had your question answered, your name is not going to go back in the draw. So it's taken out. So you don't have to keep putting it in. You only have to put it in once. And did I forget something?
Duplicates. It removes
duplicates.
And once you win, you can't win a second time.
Yeah. And it's fast, it's easy. It's not something I'm gonna probably do it again, but like, why not? Does anybody have anything else they want to have they have to say about this? Anybody in the chat want to say anything more about soul orientation versus goal orientation? Oh yeah, Gerald, you're in trouble. Jonathan wants to chat with you.
I know how to ignore phone calls and text messages and instant messengers. I'm yanking a chain.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess the discussion's over. So let's get started. So now, so these are the questions that we're going to answer. They're on your screen. And Wanda's trying to throttle me. Oh my God, if she breaks this, I'm going to be very, very unhappy. Okay. There we go. And now, let's see if I can do this properly. Okay, so we have 16 entries.
Nice. Who's going to win?
Ooh, Melinda Rogers. Are you here, Melinda? Well, I guess it doesn't matter. She can
Well, it's always either yes, and I do ignore emails. So you're right, Silver. So Melinda Rogers, are you here?
Okay, well, okay, Melinda's here, she says.
There they
Maybe
are.
there she is. Okay. All right.
If you click on Melinda,
Yeah.
that will put her name up, and so that way I don't forget who we're doing. But do you need those prompts?
What?
Do you need the prompts?
No.
Okay.
I got them written down. I can't read my handwriting, but I got them written down.
I have them written down too.
I
Right.
love reading with you, Gerald, honestly.
Thank you. Do you need to open the records or anything like that?
Yeah, I should probably do that first, right? Okay, so let's, before we start on this journey together, I would like us to take 3 deep breaths together, and I would like all of us to fill ourselves up with this beautiful, life-giving light, along with our necessary oxygen, all the way down to the bottom of your belly button, and hold it when you get as full as you possibly can. Hold your breath and then let it out through your mouth. So in through your nose, fill yourself up, and then out through your mouth. Hold it and then out through your mouth. Okay, so let's begin. Oh man, I'll never not love doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we are surrounded by the pure white light of divine source. We ask Archangel Michael to protect and guide us, and we call forth all of our angels, guides, beings of light, and Akashic Records masters to assist us now to receive information of the highest truth, highest frequency of light and love, allowing us to receive exactly what we need for our greatest good and the greatest good of humanity. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We open ourselves to the light, and with this light, we open ourselves to our truth. And with this light, we open ourselves to our soul's purpose. And with this light, we open ourselves to be guided towards our highest good and the highest good of all in divine love. And so this group, consisting of the people here now, those who will join us later, and those who will watch the replay in the future, are given the truth to best serve them on their healing journey into the love and acceptance that is most beneficial for them in this moment. And I'm going to read silently. And with this light and guidance, we unlock the energy field of this group to receive the records of their souls. Let the games begin. Oops, sorry. I don't know where that came from.
I don't know, but it was funny.
Oh.
So Melinda.
Okay. You go.
What are you doing now that is soul oriented, and what can you do more of that is soul oriented? What you're doing that is soul oriented is it feels like you're paying attention to your dreams a bit more. Those dreams are really important because sometimes the information that comes to in dreams for you is not cannot be understood in the typical 3D world. If that makes any sense to you, Melinda, let me know. So there's very much a feeling of you're paying attention to your dreams, or you're having more dreams. Part of what you need to be doing more of that is soul oriented is being willing to see you as you are, spots and all. I know we sometimes we have we may feel like we are disappointment for people. It doesn't necessarily matter what other people think. It's what you matter, what matters to you. I'm getting this feeling of you looking in the mirror and getting a sense of who you truly are and seeing your soul purpose, and be willing to see it with spots and all. And when you see that, then you can understand you have a lot of power just exactly that way, because you are who you are. And when you line up with that and you accept that, instead of arguing against it, well, I'm not good enough, I'm never smart enough, I didn't win a gold medal, or I didn't get into the spelling bee. It's very much of you honoring who you are and seeing yourself as you truly are. All of the things that are wonderful about you, and all of the things that may not be so nice. So,
or may not be what other people call nice.
Correct. There's a sense of authentically understanding how you exist in the world.
Exactly, the word that I'm being given is authenticity, Melinda. Authenticity is it has to do with personal integrity and honesty and self-awareness, all of which are really critical for you to have to progress spiritually. You are you're okay. I have the impression, I'm being given the impression that you're tentatively taking some steps that into information or areas that you're not really familiar with, and so you're very cautious, and you're just kind of feeling your way through, testing the waters. That's the expression. You're testing the waters, and that's wonderful. And do more of that, and also work on your authenticity. That will give you authenticity. Gives you great strength. It will give you great strength. Being true to yourself and being true to how you feel, even if it's not nice, according to whoever, the pearl clutchers. It's if that's how you feel, it's valid and it's important. And if you can get to the bottom of it, that's even better. The better you know yourself, the better you connect to your soul.
Yeah, that authenticity is a really powerful thing. And what I see you doing in a very beautiful way, Melinda, is you're very carefully unfolding the layers around your authenticity. And it's really beautiful, and it's scary at the same time.
Oh, terrifying.
And there's a great power in this. There's a great power in this. And you don't have to do it alone. There's great people out there to help you. And you get to decide how much you want to take in at a time.
Yeah.
Some people like drinking from a fire hose. I am not one of them. So, and sometimes you can take a sip and it works. So,
Oh, that's an excellent suggestion. Thank you. I went off there somewhere.
And Melinda says, thank you very much. Working on my spiritual journey.
Good
And
for you.
I
We all
can
are.
absolutely see it. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Nathaniel, it's a hashtag. Hashtag me, okay?
Hashtag me, and we're if you get selected by the StreamYard giveaway tool, we will be doing a reading based around these two prompts here.
Yeah.
So,
Garden hose over a fire hose. Yes. Yes. Oh, that is such a wonderful image, Jonathan. Yes. Oh, I have a story to tell you about that the next time we talk, okay?
Jonathan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Gerald, or both, or whatever. The next time we talk. Yeah, whatever. And I'm not sharing it here because it's not entirely relevant. Let's see. Okay, so now.
You have to
And
share.
thank you, Melinda. That was a very cool. That was very cool.
It was exactly what I needed to know that we can answer these questions.
Okay, so now how do I get rid of this screen? And draw again.
At the top right, you draw again.
Yeah. So our next winner.
I just wish this out.
Nathaniel. So cool. Okay, Nathaniel. I'm just going to put you up here because I don't see your original prompt because it's like gone now.
Yeah. Wow. There you go.
Okay. Yeah, I know. That's pretty cool. Okay, I like this one better. Nathaniel. They must have been brothers in the Bible or something. Nathaniel, you're practicing gratitude, and that's wonderful. Important spiritual practices, authenticity, joy, gratitude, all those old-fashioned, virtues, loving kindness, temperance. Those are all bricks in the path, cobblestones, whatever, you get it. Flagstones, whatever. Sometimes the guides are just so and you have a good practice of gratitude. Obviously it can get better because everything can.
Mm-hmm.
And what you should do more of course, gratitude is joy. You need to have more fun, Nathaniel. You need to have more fun. You need to bring more joy into your world. I don't know what gives you, I have no idea who you are, what gives you joy. If it's listening to music, if it's going for a walk, if it's playing with puppies and kittens, watching silly cat video. My favorites are the ones where the cats fall off of the bed. I laugh my ass off every time.
Mm-hmm.
It's hilarious. And I feel bad, but I laugh anyway because it's funny. So Nathaniel, you're doing really well on the gratitude. And now kick in some joy and have more fun. That's all I got.
Excuse me.
Yes, gratitude drives abundance.
Yes. Yes. Okay, Nathaniel, what you're doing right now that is soul oriented is I love that you kept talking about gratitude, because my message is about gratitude as well. You
Cool.
are paying attention to gratitude, and what's happening is it's beautiful, because what it's doing is it's making you noticed by the divine sources, the divine resources. What you need to be doing more of is, when things get really tough, you need to bring in gratitude much sooner. You need to, for entertainment purposes only, you need to work on that gratitude, or a sacred pause, as it's sometimes called, that you pause so that your first reaction is one of gratitude, instead of expressing disappointment or dissatisfaction about what's happening. And there is a point where you can blow off steam. That's fine, but immediately bring in that gratitude, because you're being noticed. And because you're being noticed, now you get more opportunity to practice that gratitude in stressful times. It's almost like it's an obstacle course, and your tool to be able to get through this obstacle course is gratitude. So it's like your shield. It's your fan. Get a fan, do something like that. Does that make sense to you, Nathaniel? I mean, are you getting a similar feeling that you're being noticed for all of the right reasons, and now it's like, okay, let's see if he's actually learning it.
Yeah,
okay,
he says this resonates so much for him.
Yes.
Okay,
Great.
Good.
It was fun.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Nathaniel.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. Okay, so let's go back and do this and draw again and see who the lucky winner is. Who our next victim is going to be. Stephanie. Stephanie, come up and claim your prize, my girl. There. Okay, I don't have her. I don't see. Are you here, Stephanie?
Just let us know you're here, Stephanie. Yay, there.
Yes, she is. Okie dokie. Stephanie, you feel really heavy to me. You feel really weighed down with cares and worries, and they want me to tell you that they notice how diligent you are and how hardworking. And there's two things you need in your life. You need more gratitude that will ease your burdens. You need more gratitude, and you need more joy. You have a lot of burdens, and they are weighing you down. The practice of a daily, or even a twice daily, as many times as you can possibly do it daily, practice of gratitude is going to lighten your burdens. I know it doesn't make, and logically, like, throw your logical mind out. It will lighten your burdens, not just because they'll feel lighter to you and they'll still be there, but also the burdens themselves will begin to dissipate. It's not just that you'll feel it less, it's also that they will lessen. So it's going to happen on both sides of the equation. Also, something you can do more of is to think more about the lessons contained in those burdens and how many of them really belong to you and how many of them really don't belong to you. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, you don't even have to do, it's a good idea to journal, to practice gratitude, but like when you look out the window and you see a pretty cloud, be grateful for the cloud. Like it's not a big deal. It is a big deal, but it doesn't have to be. It can just be like waking up in the morning and going, I'm so grateful I have this really wonderful bed to wake up in, and I can hear the birds chirping, so they're fine and they're happy, and like just that kind of gratitude, just the simple everyday dharma kind of gratitude. And then and that'll make it easy. The gratitude will make it easier to feel joy, and all of that will lessen the sense of the sense of being overburdened that I feel. I feel like this is the Six of Wands, the carrying, or the swords. I can't remember, carrying that burden.
Is the Ten of Wands.
The Ten of Wands.
Carrying all of the burdens that are not yours to carry.
Yeah.
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 Which is interesting because I have the Ten of Wands, which is about carrying stuff that doesn't belong to you.
Oh.
Well,
there you are, Stephanie.
May I build on what you said, Stephanie?
Please go ahead.
To me.
Go ahead.
I think I've gotten out of it a bit lately. Well, okay. So one of the things is I get the sense that, I'm not necessarily doing past life stuff, but this is coming through. In a past life, you were a judge. You had to make these difficult decisions for a lot of people. It was extremely stressful. You did everything that you could to make sure that you were operating in the best possible manner and the most benevolent outcome. And that doesn't make everyone happy. So what you're doing right now, Stephanie, it feels very much like you are starting to look at your experiences, and you're looking at them with a gentler self rather than being judgy, rather than immediately going, don't do that. Yeah. So it feels very much like you're gently looking at it and you go, wait a minute, is this me or is this somebody else telling me this? So, and what's a really good thing I want you to keep doing more of is taking the time to be in your physical body.
Oh, I got big chills on that. Oh, sorry. I got big chills on that.
Yeah. So, Stephanie, it would be very important for you to pay attention to your body. Wear clothes that make you feel good, regardless of what everybody else says. Who cares? Wear the shoes that make you feel great. Wear the jewelry that makes you feel and that reminds you that you are a physical being.
Ground
because you've worked hard to be in this physical environment, in this physical being. And so a lot of things have led up to this. And Stephanie, part of it is when you notice and you have a physicality about your experience, then you can be aware of what's mine and what am I willing to carry on? And that's part of that, where you shift from that, you know, where you've judged before, Gerald, that resonates so much. I've always known I didn't want to make big decisions for other people, like being a doctor or a judge. And so now you have this opportunity to go, you know what, let me put down all of my burdens and let me examine them. Let me go for a walk and see what's left over when I get back. And then I can look at each one. And you had mentioned something about journaling.
Yeah.
Of course you can journal. It's a great way to do it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So
journaling is wonderful.
Journaling is wonderful. It really feels like what you can do more of to help you that's soul oriented is being physical and being aware of your physical body, doing exercise, you know, under a doctor's orders or whatever. So blah, blah, blah. But notice who you are and where you are in your environment.
Yeah. I just heard go swimming.
Swimming's a great thing to do. So thank you, Stephanie, for being here and asking and being, I'm glad you were selected. Yeah,
me too. That was good. Thanks, Stephanie. And thank you, Gerald.
Thank you. This was great.
Are we doing those little chipmunks? do you remember those cartoons?
The
Chip and Dale.
Chip and Dale, yes.
Chris Cassidy, you're up.
You didn't share the image.
Oh, I didn't. Oh,
there you go. Chris Cassidy, you're there. By the way, Linda, everybody does that at least once a show.
Okay, good. Because usually I make you disappear.
I can do that now.
No, that's fine. Please don't. But usually what happens is I'm typing in the chat or I'm talking to Nightbot and
that's right.
And boom, you're gone. And Chris Stephanie says, thank you so much, Linda and Gerald. I'm so happy I was selected too, because this is so valuable for me. Well, good. I'm glad. I'm glad this was helpful to you. So, Chris, here you are. And away with that. And I'll embiggen us. And yeah, I get excited for the winners too. It's a very cool way to do this, isn't it? Really builds energy. Okay. Wait a minute. What happened to Chris's comment? It disappeared.
Sorry, you can find it again. There you go. Oof.
You go if you're ready. Ouch.
Chris, I think you are an interesting person right now, because in my records, I'm actually seeing a lot of flipping between pages. There's a lot of things that are bringing you joy, and that is filling your soul. You're a person who I believe, well, I would say that your sole purpose is that you are having, I don't know if you're in a good family unit, or you've surrounded yourself by people who you enjoy being with and they enjoy being with you. And it's mutually beneficial. So it's a very lighthearted approach, and you don't take it too seriously. And I would say people find you enjoyable to be around. You lift their energy. And so go ahead.
I'm getting a lot of unsettledness, a lot of moving energy. Maybe that's from the pages that are moving around, but I'm getting a lot of or maybe, Chris, you're just a social butterfly who flits from topic to topic or person to person or something. But there's a lot of movement, a lot of unsettledness. It's not a bad thing. It feels exploratory, and I think that that's what you're doing for your soul orientation right now, is exploring, exploring all different kinds of things.
Chris said, "That's good to hear. That's good to hear, Gerald. Lots of moving pieces and interest, Linda."
Oh, well, there you go. Okay, so that makes sense. So there will be a time when something shiny, I'm so ADD, something shiny attracts you, and instead, usually, okay, so you get interested in something and then you learn what you want to know about it, and then that's it. I mean, it doesn't become like you learn as much as you want to know until your curiosity is satisfied, and then you go on to the next thing. But there, in the near future, 6 months, maybe next 6 months, within a year for sure, there will be something that catches your interest that's going to stay with you for a very long time. Don't know what that is, but that's coming up for you, and that's part of your soul's journey. It's it's part of your soul's development and journey. Um, uh, and that will come as a result of your innate curiosity, which is such a good thing, and you follow it. Because that means you're following your heart, right? Which is what I'm always telling people to do, is if you want to find joy, follow your heart. Like, what gives you joy? And you're following your curiosity, which is another way of saying the same thing. And satisfying yourself that way. And in terms of what you can do more of, be with yourself more, be still more. Find stillness within yourself. So like meditation, or just long, peaceful, would you stop? Long, peaceful walks, or maybe not so peaceful. Long walks where you're not doing anything other than just being, and allowing thoughts and dreams and images to just come and go out of your mind. So yeah, meditation would probably be a really good thing if you're not already doing it, because they're saying spend more time with yourself, in yourself. So
I want to add on to that. Yeah, go ahead.
So Chris, you're going to keep us updated, right? Because I'm just dying of curiosity to find out what it is that is going to keep you enthralled for a very long time to come, potentially, like, I don't know, the rest of your life, but very long term, like at least 20 years. So there you are.
Chris did say earlier, I am plus thinking about new creative endeavors.
Okay.
So
yeah.
And so part of what I'm getting that sense too. You get very excited. You're very enjoyable to be around. You people would like to. People like to be around you. They get inspired around you. I am getting the sense that you do move a lot, and you flit from one thing to another. Now is the time for you to figure out a way to focus on that, and then transform it into something that's a bit more in depth. Maybe you have these 4 or 5 interests that you've explored in the last year. Is there a way that you can transform those and put those together, Chris? So it feels very much like the sole interest is, don't discount everything that you've done. Perhaps it's time to review what you've done and see the depth of understanding and experience you have with it now to bring something new to it. I don't know if that makes any sense for you, Chris. So, but I also get there's something definitely coming in about, they're not very specific.
No.
But I do get in about 7 months, there's something that you're going to get that's going to actually allow you to sort of go, well, let's level this up. Let's see what happens when we do it this way. So
7 months? Well, that's interesting. I hardly ever get timing on stuff, Hardly
yeah, well,
ever.
I got 7 months and you got something to keep them occupied for 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah, but I said something was coming up in the near future, like 6 months.
Oh, you did, didn't you? Okay.
Yeah. Which surprises me because I rarely get timing on anything, or if I do, it's vague. It's like, pretty soon, which could be 2 years.
Yeah. It's all time
This
is
was
relative.
this was a little more specific and a little more. I hope that helps. That was pretty interesting, Chris. Thank you.
Yeah, that was very interesting. I've not experienced anything quite like that. It's like sort of reviewing all of the notes and the little bits of pieces of things that you've had. And it's almost like, here's a good visual they're telling me. If you've ever had Legos or seen Legos, you buy these Lego sets. What you're doing is you've opened all these Lego sets, you've put them into this big barrel, and now you're going to mix this barrel together and pour it out, and you are going to create something of your own making instead of following the instructions.
My kids used to do that.
Yeah. So.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Oh, and Chris just said, yeah, that's really, really helpful. Put the pieces together. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Chris. That was pretty awesome. Okay, next. Add to the stage. Yes. Yeah. Next we have Liz in awe.
Liz.
Yeah, she's here. I saw her earlier, not very long ago.
You're welcome,
Okay.
Chris.
Yeah, you're very welcome, Chris. That was fun. Okay, Liz.
Yeah, one of the things that I appreciate about reading with you, Linda, is my interaction with the records has evolved and grown. So thank you for that.
Ooh, no, that's you. That's your hard work, buddy.
So I appreciate that. Well, it's happening in your presence, so there we go.
Well, and it happens with you too, because yeah, it just flows really well, doesn't it? It just flows really, really well. Yeah. Okay, so Liz. I'm hearing the song, knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door, which I'm doing all wrong, but. Okay, so now Wendy's decided to chirp in. And here's another phrase, storming the gates of heaven.
So, may I jump in?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think what's interesting is Liz and all, part of what I'm getting is that of what you're doing that is soul oriented is that you are experiencing sorrow. You are experiencing disappointment. That's a bit strange for me. However, honoring your emotions and the disappointments is an important part of this experience, and by actually leaning into them and allowing them to flow through you is powerful, because you got that knocking on heaven's door.
Yeah.
Because what's happening now is it's almost like it's a slingshot propelling you forward, because you're using it to help put the next cobblestone in front of you so that you can walk on the path. And so there's a lot of what's the well, it helps if you give it to me in English. No, I don't speak Spanish. Yeah, I can go to the bathroom, and I know your name, but that's okay. Part of what you can do more of is you can embrace your inspiration to move forward and to have the perseverance and the gutsiness about moving through the life. So yeah, there's this yeah, go ahead, please.
So Liz, no, it's not because you're ready to go to heaven, okay? It's because you are constantly reaching and knocking on the door and saying, pay attention to me. Why is this going? You know, like you have a clear, direct, strong connection to spirit. That's what that refers to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my gosh! If you were thinking,
she says so in the chat. It's got nothing to do with passing on. It has to do with your connection.
Oh my gosh! Yo, I completely missed that. It's not.
Yes, so did I.
Yeah, it's not that. It's you actually. It's like moving from being a toddler to an adolescence. It's going through a growth and an awareness. It's like going away to college. And then you figure out how you are going to interact on this new environment, and the new campus, and you're going to figure out where your favorite things are, where your favorite places to go for a beverage, and where you like to study, and when you're feeling sad, and you've got your journal. So yeah, oh, it's certainly not that. No, it's a movement through, because you know, the last card that I got for that I got for you is I got strength. I love this card. This is about perseverance.
Yeah.
And it's so powerful. So, I mean, and that, boy, let me tell you, the disappointments and learning from those definitely help you have perseverance. So,
yeah.
So there you go.
So the knocking on heaven's door, as I explained, is about your connection to spirit, and it's a really good connection from you to them. And where you need to put some more work in is their connection to you. So I'll be really blunt for a change. You're not listening. You're knocking on the door, but you're not listening.
Yep.
The messages are the messages that are coming back. You have your mind is really busy, and I know you meditate, but somehow you're not hearing the messages that are coming through, or some of them. I mean, I get that you're hearing some, but some of them are just not able to get through. So stillness, again, more stillness, and um and stillness and gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Stillness and gratitude. So
That's
um
amazing.
that's what I got for you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for participating in
Yes,
this. And I hope
Liz.
this helps, Liz. I
That's
wish you the very, very best. I mean, you already know that. Okay.
Woo-hoo.
Okay, so back to
I don't know about you, but I'm warm, and it's not just because of the temperature outside. It's these are
well,
really interesting connections. Oh, look,
ooh, joyful journey. Yay. Great. Okay, joyful. I know she's here. I just saw her. Um, look at that. That was a miracle. Joyful, if you could just post a comment so that I can put it on the screen so that we remember who it is we're reading for. Because
she's doing that for me. She doesn't need it. I'm the one who
yeah, I
needs
do. Oh yeah, I do.
it. I,
I call
you
Nathaniel Jonathan. I mean, what the hell, right? And it was right up there too.
there you go. Well, I mean, we're
Yeah,
not keeping track of it. Yes, we are.
yeah, you are. You totally are. You're writing notes. I know you are.
I am totally writing notes because
Absolutely.
at the end of next month, you will get a full report on how you have been doing.
Just like YouTube gives me, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. See, when you're a creator, you get a little report from YouTube. You get one every week, and then you get one every month. And they ask you really stupid questions that you can't go into the next page until you answer the dumb question. Like, for example, don't you get those?
I don't think I signed up for those.
It's in the YouTube studio. It's the YouTube studio.
Wow. I must not be special then. I guess I have to do more shows.
Or you have to go read your notifications. Yeah, maybe, or you don't have to. No, okay. I don't know. I don't know why.
Okay.
Okay.
Here. Joyful journey. Joyful journey.
Well, are we going to answer her question if she's not here? I think so. What the hell? Why not?
Hey, it's your show.
Because she should come back and yeah, I don't know why. Look at Tropical Empress says she doesn't get him either. I don't know.
Do
They
me a
must have,
favor and put my comment up with Joyful
yeah,
Journey's name so
yeah,
that
yeah.
we can see
There
it.
we go. So joyful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Silver.
Yeah, you are
I don't
special.
need another email to ignore, right?
Don't feel bad. I ignore some emails too. Actually, I don't check my email often enough. Like I'm not somebody who sits on my sits on my emails. You want to talk to me, like
Okay, so
I'll get back to
Joyful.
you eventually. Oh, joyful.
Joyful's doing now. That is soul oriented and what can be done more of.
Such a bubbly, sparkly spirit. Like it's like being in sparkling rose water.
Nice.
Um,
So,
yep,
Joyful, part of what you're doing is I mean, with your name, like Joyful Journey, you are putting it out there that you are looking for joy.
yeah,
That's an affirming
100%.
thing. It's very, very helpful. What's happening now is the next thing that you can do more of that's soul oriented is for you to understand that you can't live in this joyful level at all times, because when, you know, if you're this high all the time, then this high is actually this high. Part of what happens is you need to understand there is a give and take in life and with the soul journey. And the soul, being soul oriented, understands accepting and honoring them, the things that are up and the things that are down, and recognizing that, you know what, this is part of the journey and it's all appropriate for me. It's neither good nor bad, it just is. And I think it's one of those things. It's helping you, Jen. I think it's helping. Okay, slow down. I can't translate that fast. It's helping you to have a new depth of understanding of emotions and how to do things with them. So.
So Joyful. See, here's another message about authenticity. That lovely bubbliness, that's genuinely part of who you are, but there's also grief with that.
And Joyful just popped in and said, emotions are big right now.
Ah, okay. Here. Well, I'm glad you're here, Joyful. I mean, I'm just glad you're here. Like we would answer your question anyway, but so that lovely, sparkly, bubbly, refreshing, really, really lovely. I mean, I can't say lovely enough about this. It is just wonderful to sit there. You're the kind of person that just being around you makes people feel better.
Mm-hmm.
And there's an innate ability to heal. Like just your presence is comforting and healing and makes people happy. Ouch, Wanda, right now you're not making me happy. Here, have some more almonds. Let me reward your bad behavior. That being said, there is some grief. There is grief under there. And that needs to be integrated, I guess is the word I'm looking for. The grief that you feel needs honoring, needs to be honored and needs to be felt and expressed,
Mm-hmm.
and become a part of you. I mean, it is a part of you, but it's not an acknowledged part of you. And I mean, people always say it's shadow work. Yeah. No, it's not shadow work. It's grief. And it's a deep grief. And it's some of it's pretty old, some of it's more recent, but it's a well of grief that
She
you
said,
need to
I stuff it down. I stuff it down.
Yeah. I recognize that, Joyful, because I have done that myself. So it needs to be acknowledged. It needs to be brought to the light. It needs to be wept and shrieked and keened. Ooh, keening. Some keening needs to happen. It needs to find expression and be lived and be part of you. in order for you to be more authentically your own self, in order for you to gain strength and to gain confidence and to gain that rock solid two-fisted grip on reality, that needs to be acknowledged and expressed, and just wail and keen and shriek and weep. And I think there's a biblical thing where you tear your hair out. Don't do that, okay? But I will tell you that when my son died, I shaved my head. I didn't like shave it bald, but like I clipped my hair down to like 1/4 of an inch. And I kept it that way for 3 years. Most of that unconsciously, okay? I was not willing to consciously acknowledge that this was a sign of my grieving, but it was, totally was.
Yes.
So I get that, joyful. And I'm not suggesting you do the same thing. I'm just sharing with you what my experience of grief was. Yeah, that's what I have for you. I love you so much, Joyful. I really, truly send you all the love in my heart right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, Joyful, my hair has become my thing since the pandemic, because I started letting it grow during the pandemic because I got tired of like buzzing it off and going, oh, well, nobody's going anywhere. I can be ugly for as long as I want. So, you know, so that's how I got hair. Yeah, you do have to let it out, honey. It's if you want to really be who you are and be your own authentic self and develop the strength, the spiritual strength for the next part of your journey, then this is the step for you to take.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so welcome, sweetie.
You're very welcome. Joyful journey.
Thank you for that. Thank you, Joyful.
Wow.
Now, if I go like this, I discovered a shortcut that Gerald didn't know.
Woo! Tune in next week and she'll show up.
No, I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you. It's just, it's dumb, but it's funny. Okay, who's coming up next? CJ. How are you feeling, Gerald? We're at 1/4 the hour. We've been reading for an hour and 17 minutes. Well, okay, so we've been reading for 45 minutes because mostly we were talking for 20 minutes.
I'm good for one, and CJ is here. Look at
Yay.
that.
Okay. Okay. So you see how there's we're in that what do they call it? The layout that we're using is okay. So if I just move over to the second layout that I like using and click on that.
Oh, fancy AF. That Linda.
I know. Because I didn't like how it made us small and then I had to click to make us big again. And so I thought, oh, let's see what happens. Hoping against hope that
CJ
didn't get booted out. Aaron, it's perfectly normal for people to change their, well, women particularly, but people to change their hair. Like I was crying and dyeing my hair after a bad relationship, and feeling neutered may have more to do with your feelings about the relationship than your feelings about your hair. So don't ask me what's normal. I am the last person to give advice.
Are you asking, are you asking Linda and Gerald what's normal? Good luck with that, anyhow. Yeah.
Get out of here with that.
No,
Come
but
on.
I understand what you mean, Aaron, and I would say that is a certain way to feel.
It is absolutely a human reaction. Absolutely human. Whether it's a normal human reaction, I'm not the right person to ask, and I don't think Gerald is either.
Well, and also, but the idea of it culturally is when someone dies or there's a big change,
Yeah.
cutting your hair releases all of the history of that. So you can
Yeah.
start,
Yeah. That's the big lesson about hair, right? Is the symbolism of energy that it contains, and all the rest of that, all those biblical stories that, most of us grew up with Jezebel. No, not was it Jezebel? No, Samson and Delilah, and still in the Middle East, right up until the last century, right up in the 1800s, men who were being condemned or punished for things had their beards taken off, which was a big shameful thing, right? So there's a whole lot of I'm thinking of Iran particularly, but it happened elsewhere. So yeah, let's
CJ.
get down
I'm
to
thinking
CJ.
about, what is CJ doing that is soul oriented? CJ, I feel a very big heaviness as I'm looking at where you are and what you're doing with soul. That's soul oriented. I don't know if you've gone through a lot of transition. There's been people who have passed. There's a very heavy weight about the loss, and the way things were are not the way they are now. And it felt a bit like it built up and it built up, it built up. It felt like there wasn't a break for a while, CJ. What you can do, what you can do more of that's soul oriented is you show up. And that's the only way I can say. Things are hard. My cats pass one after another. Okay. You show up and you do what needs to be done. You are a slow and steady person. And in that grief, the loss of those cats, you kept doing what you needed to do. You kept allowing that to have a movement, and you made the choices to keep moving forward, and to keep addressing that, taking one step forward. The next thing is for you to allow the emotions of all of this to start to show up outwardly, instead of you doing it silently by yourself. Doing it in an honoring of, and with people who can understand and hold space for you, is very much how I'm feeling. There's this sense of there's this need for action, and now taking that and moving through it. How do you get through hell? You just keep going through it. You don't back up. You just keep doing it. Keep doing it, because there's this, and I think there's going to be some emotions that are showing up, and I want you to honor those emotions, and to meet them head on. Don't be mad at them. Just go, well, there you are. Hi. And let them sit with you on the park bench for a while, and then move them on, or you get up off the park bench and you walk to the next thing. I keep seeing you doing something in a park. So,
well, one of the things that I'm getting is, again, to be with yourself more.
Mm-hmm.
So walking in a park makes perfect sense to me. And again, there are parts of you that you are not familiar with. And again, this isn't shadow work. This is getting to know who you are, and looking at all the feelings that you have, telling you who you are. I am the kind of person who gets really angry when I see somebody yelling at a little kid.
Yeah.
It's instant rage. Okay. And yet when I was a mother, I used to yell at my kids, sit down.
Yeah.
And now I am, see, I mean, if I were a mother now, I wouldn't be doing that. Well, maybe I would, because, you know, you see me with Wanda. That's pretty much. So, so there are parts of you that you don't know. You have the patience. Here we go with the virtues, the patience and the perseverance and the fortitude. Oh, there's a good old-fashioned word. You have patience and perseverance and fortitude.
I like that.
Me too. I like that a lot. And now there are places that within you there are aspects of your own self that you're being called on to get acquainted with and spend some time with and honor, I guess, those emotions by looking at them and identifying where did that come from? What is this about? You know? Instead of reacting and expressing that emotion in the moment necessarily. I mean, maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing, because sometimes it's absolutely perfectly right to express immediately. Other times, better to take a little pause and go, I need to look at where that came from, because that's completely irrational. That's a completely inappropriate response for what's going on now, like laughing at a funeral. Well, that usually happens out of nervousness, so I get it. It
happens in my family. That's how we deal with stress, and
nervous energy. So get to know yourself a little better. That will increase, again, authenticity. Authenticity is your rock. It's your integrity as a person. It's your strength. It's your ability to further explore your soul. It's getting to know your soul is what it is. So there you have it, CJ.
Wow.
So
it's CJ. It's a very solid thing that you're working on, and just remember, slow and steady really pays off.
Well, you've got that down. You've got the patience and the perseverance and the guts, because that's what fortitude is guts, basically.
Yep.
It's a combination of courage and fortitude to actually do the work and to face yourself and to call yourself. I don't want to say to account, because it's not really about accountability, because you are very accountable. There is that too. You are very accountable to yourself. Just spend more time in yourself, with yourself. So
these have been great readings.
These have been awesome readings. I want to do this again. And somebody in the chat a long time ago, last week, somebody in today's chat said this was a great topic and we should do this again. And I'm absolutely 100% in for that, because what?
We're reading together next Thursday.
We are, aren't we? Let's see. Okay, let's do it again next Thursday then. Okay, so you guys heard it first here. We're back together again next Thursday, the 5th of September.
Yes.
September.
I know.
And so we'll do it again next Thursday, because honestly, this was really revelatory for me as a reader. And not just because I learned how to use, how to play with giveaway, but the whole thing about what the masters and the guides, because like everybody was yammering at me, like people's guides were talking to me, and the masters and my own guides, and just was really crowded in here. Anyway, what they had to say about soul journeys and about orientation and everything, fascinating.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I really enjoyed hearing what they had to say about authenticity and
Mhm.
how authenticity is like a foundation of
Yes.
spiritual growth.
That
That
is so true.
never heard that before. I've never heard it. I've never heard anybody talk about authenticity and spiritual growth. But holy, does that ever make sense? So we're
Yeah.
going to do this again next week.
Sounds perfect to me.
So be here or be there, whatever.
Or be here or watch the playback.
Or watch. Oh, and you guys, you should also watch the playback from the show that Gerald and I did on Monday on Gerald's channel on Readings for Readers. That was really fantastic. That was something that really yeah, that's absolutely worth
That's
watching.
great.
Um,
Yes, and I want to do a little promotion. I am part of the video-a-thon starting on Sunday for the Psychics for Democracy. Follow my channel, look at my community tab, and you will get the link to the host. And the host is Deborah Lupin, and so it's going to happen on her channel, the Psychics for Democracy, and that's a 24-hour show. And we're not doing readings about politics. We're having a good time whilst we give people an opportunity to support democracy.
Okay, awesome. I'm Canadian. Can I come too?
You can certainly watch, yes. I don't want you to get in trouble for anything, but we can talk.
Okay, we'll talk. All right. And I'm going to close the records. I remembered all by myself this time.
I know. I'm totally impressed. I'm like,
so am I. So am I. I would like to close by thanking the light for the truth. I would like to close by thanking the light for the healing energy. And I would like to close by thanking the light for the guidance and compassion towards our soul's purpose. And with this, we lock the records of this group. The records are now closed. So Psychics for Democracy. Okay, so Diane hunted up the link. God bless you, Diane. Thank you. Diane. What else are you doing in the near upcoming? Oh, and wait. You and I are doing something on Tuesday on Moon Scarab's channel.
Yes, we are. We're doing readings,
for the new moon.
New moon readings. On Monday, I'm also doing a Tarot the Stash Way with Richie. We are doing tarot and the sense of touch. So that's going to be a great deal of fun.
Yes, it is.
Looking forward to that.
And I want to let you all know that I finally broke down and I put a wish list up. and the links in my, and it has fuzzy slippers. And it has different perches for Wanda. And it has just like all kinds of random stuff. Because I figure it's a wish list. If I get it, fine. If I don't, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, Tuesday on Moon Scarab's channel at 5 Pacific. And also Eastern. There's Akashic. I'll be on Akashic Adventures. It'll be on my channel this coming Tuesday at 2 o'clock Pacific, 5 o'clock Eastern. And then Moon Scarab with Gerald at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern. Yeah. And then Thursday with Gerald. So costumes for Wanda. Oh my God. Well, if you can find any, Aaron, I'll see about getting them on her. Oh man, that's so hilarious. Yeah. I'll have to get Band-Aids because I'm sure that she will draw blood. And so anyway, no, they're not bunny slippers, Chris. They're just like plain old lady slippers, but they're fuzzy and they've got like fleece inside. And, they're just like, I wouldn't say no to bunny slippers, except I'm afraid I would trip over them.
Yeah, I have to be careful with the slippers. I understand.
Yeah. So, okay. Love you all so much. Thank you so much for being here. I'm pretty sure I went over everything. Well, did I forget anything? Do you know? I don't think so.
Like and subscribe to the channel. Links
Yes.
below to how you can support the channel are there,
Yes. Yes.
including a donation via PayPal.
Yes.
Any donation size is appreciated. So
Yes. Yeah. Oh, very much appreciated. And Gerald and I both do private readings, and the links for those are in there too for our email
yep.
addresses. So love you all. Hold on for a second here while I get my while I get my stuff together. See
Of
you.
course.
Bye.
Bye.